If you've been struggling to manifest and you don't know what you're doing wrong and you want to change that, then this video is for you. My name is David. I'll leave a link somewhere where you can find out a little bit about me and about mind yoga, but let's get to it. Manifestation. I need to clear it up because there is a big misunderstanding of what it actually means. People are under the misconception that manifestation is just thinking things into reality. And the truth is, that's just not what it is. Think of it this way. If you could think something into reality, life would be chaotic. There's an intelligent reason for why that's not possible, okay? But let's break down the word manifest etymologically. It took me a lot of willpower to say that, so please acknowledge and appreciate that. Etymologically, manifest comes from the root mane, meaning hand, and festare, meaning struck. Essentially, manifestation is struck with the hand. Put another way, it's something tangible. We, you, me, everyone, everything is an expression of divine consciousness. It is divine consciousness made manifest. It is the expression, the physical expression of divine consciousness. As a result, you have the power of manifestation within you, and you have always had the manifestation powers within you. I'll put it another way. You've been able to and have manifested your reality before you could even think. Let me explain. When you were conceived, before you had shape of arms and legs and hands, you had the divine power to create your entire body. If that's not proof enough for you that it isn't manifestation coming from the mind, it's coming from the essence nature, that God spark, divine consciousness that resides within you, then I don't know what can prove that to you. Because you were manifesting, you manifested your body, you brought it into being before you could even think. And the thing that's preventing you from manifesting is your thinking mind. Because in tantric teaching, all mind-based suffering is the result of ignorance to the truth. It's the mind that we become so attached to, that we believe it's who we are, that prevents us from using that power of manifestation that has been a part of us even before we were born. Power of manifestation to bring into reality, make it manifest, is based on the three powers of God. In tantric teaching, these are the secondary powers of God. The power of will, the power of knowing, and the power of action. And with these three powers, which even though we have a limited expression of them, we have the ability and capability to bring into reality our desires. The reason, as I said, we struggle to do this is because the mind gets in the way. And so the solution is to get the mind out of the way. The way to do this, is what we do in mind yoga, is to massage out the mental, emotional knots that are preventing you from having the clarity of vision to bring into reality, into manifestation, what it is that you desire. speak about desire a little bit. This is that power of will. And it's the difference between wanting something and expressing something. It's the difference between wanting to get something that exists external to you and express something that exists already within you. This is the difference between desire in the sense of acquiring and will in the sense of expressing. When we want to manifest something, it's a part of us that is wanting to be expressed. We can think that we want to manifest and desire a car, for example, but really what's happening is we're wanting to experience that part of ourselves that gets to express its joy at having that car, that thing, whatever it is. When we can tap into that part of ourselves, when we can learn to express that part of our essence nature, that divine will, then it doesn't matter if we actually have that tangible thing, the car, the partner, the house, whatever it is. Because we've learned to express that part of ourselves. And as a result, what ends up happening is rather than us going to that thing ends up coming to us. It's the difference between getting and attracting. What's the second necessary step after having the will to express that part of ourselves for the inherent joy that is having the right knowledge. This is where most people will misstep and get stuck. Is because they know what they want. Maybe that can be the first challenge. It's understanding what it is that you're actually wanting, and by wanting I mean desiring to express. Once that has become clear, and that's also partly what we do in mind yoga, is recognizing there's two stages. There's having the clarity of what you want and then the clarity of how to get there. Once it's understood, then it's knowing the actual steps to achieve it. This then plays into the third power of God, which is the power of action, because it's will and knowledge aren't enough. It requires taking the right necessary action to be able to bring it into reality. Or put another way, it requires the right action to become the version of you that you need to be to bring that manifested reality into your life. Let me put it this way. I am a handstander. I've been training and teaching handstands for the last 10 years. And in order to be able to do that, in order to be able to do a handstand, I needed the will to be able to do it. I needed the knowledge of how it's done. And I needed to take the necessary action to actually bring it into being. But it wasn't the handstand that changed. It was me that changed to make that possible. And that's the distinction. It's not about acquiring the thing. It's about becoming the version of you that allows that thing to be expressed with you. And this is challenging. This can be challenging because we become so fixated on our mind. We believe that's who we are, and we have this need to satisfy the mind, which is satisfied by external objects. When we become fixated on the external, we lose sight of the internal. We lose sight of our essence, nature, our core, our being. And we recognize that if we don't have that thing, we're lacking. And then we don't take the necessary steps in order to become the version of us that allows that thing to be experienced. In tantric teaching, there are two goals, essentially. And one that's the acceptance and appreciation of the divinity of consciousness, divine consciousness. And secondary is the worldly enjoyment and worldly success. Put another way, God first, worldly enjoyment second. We become so fixated on this that we forget about this. But actually, if we put this first, then this can come. And so to manifest, if you're wanting to manifest something, getting out of your mind, recognizing that the mind wants something external to it, because the mind is a limited expression of divine consciousness. We over-attach to it, and so in mind yoga, learning to peel away from the mental constructs, the false truths, the false narratives, the false beliefs that we've become overly obsessed with, we can return to this essence nature, this divine consciousness that wants to express itself, that wants to enjoy life. In doing that, in recognizing it's a part of us that needs, or that is being invited to really manifest, then the thing, whatever it is, it'll come at some point, because that's what's being invited through that secondary worldly enjoyment. We're allowed to enjoy this human experience. Tantric teaching is not about transcending the human experience, it's about honoring it, and honoring it through honoring the divine essence that resides within us, that wants to express and wants to enjoy. Otherwise, why be here? We're here to have this worldly experience, to have the enjoyment of it, but just not to become so overly attached to it that we lose sight of the divinity. And this is what we do in Mind Yoga. We massage out those knots that prevent clear vision, that prevent being able to navigate through the world clearly and freely, to be able to express the intrinsic worth and value and joyfulness that is who you are at your core. And as a result, you get to enjoy the worldly goods, the worldly success. So I trust that makes sense. If there was something in that clicked for you, then write that down. Feel free to let me know. If there's something that isn't quite making sense for you, if you're not sure where to go next, let me put it this way. Chunk it down and have the knowledge of what needs to be done to be able to get to who you need to become to achieve what it is that you desire. And if you're not sure how to do that, that's the value of the Mind Yoga. We clear out the stuff that's in the way to then invite the clarity of action that needs to be done. I have the analogy of marathon. If I'm so fixated on the 26 miles, then I don't take and don't find the joyful expression of going each individual mile. I don't know if you've ever run a marathon, but if you have, there's a reason there are mile markers. Because if you're just running without having any idea of how far you've gone, it can be demoralizing. It really can be. So having the breakdown, the chunked down expression of that, so you know you're going in the right direction, even if what it is that you're desiring to manifest hasn't materialized yet, you haven't reached mile 26, you haven't reached the finish line, you know that you're heading in the right direction because you have the right knowledge of what that looks like. And right now, if there's something that you're wanting to manifest and it's not coming, it's going to be one of those three things. The willpower, or the essence of what's wanting to be expressed through you as you, the knowledge of the steps that need to be done to be able to get there, and the action that you need to take to be able to become that version of you. It may be that you're falling at the first hurdle, which is the willpower, because the fixation is on the 26 miles. I want to get to the finish line, the medal, rather than, oh, I want to express this part of myself. The fixation on the medal, the external validation, the external object can be fuel enough, but typically when it's coupled with the right internal drive, that's when it's achieved. And this is why I have so many people say this to me over the last 10 years when they see that I can do a handstand. So many people say, I wish I could do that. No, you don't. A part of you does, but there is another part of you, or a couple of parts of you, that are overpowering the part of you that does. Because if you wanted to do it, it would be enough of a drive to actually do it. If a part of you does want to do it and you're not doing it, or there's a part of you that wants a goal but it's not being attained, is because there's another part of you that wants something else more. And by having the clarity, by getting to the truth of what that is, which is what we do in Mind Yoga, I go with you on that journey to get to the truth, we can find the actual part of you, the actual truth, so that that result can become your reality. So important. So important. So take that into consideration when you're thinking about what it is that you're wanting to manifest. Having the right desire, something expressed from within. And if you're not sure, go on that journey to figure that out. If you need clarity, drop me a message. The right knowledge. This is where, if you don't know what it is, the steps that need to be taken, speak to people who've already gone on that journey. Surround yourself with people that have already gone on that journey. Consume the knowledge that they're sharing about going on that journey, so that you can couple that with that desire and then actually take action. Because you can wish it and think it and pray for it as much as you want, but if you're not taking action to become the version of you that brings that into reality, then it's very unlikely that it's going to happen. If you're hungry and you just sit in your house and wish for food to appear, it doesn't happen. What's required to bring that into manifestation is that you need to take action. You need to have the desire, which is the hunger, the knowledge, how to get the food. And that may be going to the supermarket, cooking the food, preparing it, and then eating it. Or it may be ordering it. That's still taking action. Yeah? It's that combination of the three. But you could just sit in your room and hope and wish for food to appear, but that isn't manifestation. That's wishful thinking. And that's the distinction, that's the difference that I wanted to instill to you in this video. Manifestation isn't wishful thinking. It's about taking knowledgeable action to be able to become the version of you that expresses that joy found in the thing that you're wanting to manifest. So I trust and I hope that makes sense. If it does, let me know. If it doesn't, let me know. If you're wanting support to find the clarity on how to manifest the thing that you're wanting, then reach out, because this is what I want for you. I know that it's possible because I've done it. And you can find some backstory on that in the introduction video. And I want that for you, because if we can all access that divine joy that resides within us and learn to express it, then what a world, what a reality we can all create for ourselves and for each other. So good luck.